Hello student, in today's class we are going to discuss simple interest and compound interest exercise part 5. Okay. Now our indexes is exercise questions and then summarize our today's lecture. Now there is a disclaimer. The images used in our slide deck are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owners of any of the images used in this deck and have any concern or issues, please contact us at sathee@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. Now first see the some formula of simple interest and compound interest. First formula of simple interest is SI is denoted as PRT upon 100. So what is SI is denotion of simple interest, P is principal amount, R is rate of interest and T is time. So how we can calculate the amount when simple interest is given? So amount is equals to simple interest plus principal amount. So P represent principal, A equals to amount and SI represent simple interest. So what will be the calculation of compound interest? Compound interest equals to P in the bracket 1 plus R upon 100 whole square minus 1 represent the compound interest. So CI represent compound interest, P represent again principal, R represent rate of interest and N represent time. Formula for calculating amount or principal or rate. So if amount is equals to P in the large bracket 1 plus R upon 100 to the power T, where A equals to amount, P equals to principal, R equals to rate of interest, T equals to time. So the difference between CI and SI for 2 years. CI it means compound interest, SI it means simple interest. So we can directly calculate it, which is PR square upon 100 square. The difference between compound interest and simple interest for 3 years is equals to difference equals to PR square in the bracket 300 plus R upon 100 cube. Next formula is formula for calculating installment on SI. Let each installment be A rupees. So A equals to 100 into P upon 100 into T plus R into T into bracket T minus 1 by 2. We get the installment of amount at simple interest. Clear? So the formula for calculating of the population n year ago. So n year ago the population will be P upon 1 plus R upon 100 to the power n. Formula for calculating population after n year. So the population will become after n year P into 1 plus R upon 100 to the power n. Now we'll see some questions. Now the first question is, according to census report, the population growth rate of Faridabad is going to be increasing arithmetic progression with first year rate as 5% per annum and common difference as 5% per annum. But simultaneously, the migration rate is an increasing geometric progression with the first term as 1% per annum and common ratio of 2%. So if population on 31st December 2010 is 1 million, then find the which year will the Faridabad witness its first fall in the population. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now the question says that here from 2010 and onward we would determine the population of Faridabad. We would be creating two tables, one for population growth rate and another for decreasing or due to migration. Clear? On comparing both the table, if the migration rate would become greater than the population growth rate, then there would be a fall in population. Clear? Solution to be continued. So first we create two table, growth rate and migration table. Arithmetic growth rate is in arithmetic progression, it is given in the question. So if A is 5% and the difference is D, which is again 5%, when but migration is in geometric progression where common ratio is 2% and A is equals to 1%. So in 2011 we can see that growth will be 5%. So in 2012 it will be 10% because the common difference is 5%. So in 2013 will be 15%. So in 2014 will be 20% and again it is increased in difference of 5. So in 2016 it will be 30%. But the migration is in the ratio of common ratio is 2. So first year it is 1%, second year it will be 2, third year will be 4% in 2013. So same way in 2014 it will become 8. In 2015 it will become 16 because the common ratio is 2. Now in 2016 it will become 32. So the in 2016 onward migration rate will be more than the growth rate. Clear? Next. Monica deposited a total of rupees 10,500 with a bank in two different deposit schemes at rate of 10% per annum, interest being compounded annually. As per the scheme, she get the same amount after 2 years on the first deposit as she gets after 3 years on the second deposit. How much money did she deposit for 3 years? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Let the amount invested by Monica in first scheme be X rupees. So another would be 10,500 minus X. Rate of interest which is given is 10% per annum. Now according to CI, the amount in first scheme after 2 years will be 1.21x. Solution to be continued. So the amount in second scheme after 3 years, it will become 1.331 multiplying 10,500 minus x. Now since she got same amount from both the scheme, hence 1.21x equals to 1.331 multiplying 10,500 minus x. So when we calculate it, we get the value of x, which is 5,500. Hence her amount in 3 years scheme will be 10,500 minus 5,500, which is 5,000 rupees. Clear? Next one. A sum of money invested at simple interest for 2 years at 5% per annum amounted to rupees 2,750. The rate at which the sum should have been invested to get rupees 300 as interest after 2 years would be. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Simple interest equals to P into R into T upon 100. Clear? So amount minus principal, we can say that, is equals to P into R into T upon 100. When we write it, we get the value of P, which is this amount is equals to the, if we put rupees 2,750, the rate at which the sum should have been invested to get 300 as interest after 2 years would be. Clear? So 2,750 is equals to P into 1 plus 10 upon 100. Clear? So principal will become 2,500 when we calculate it. Now we need simple interest for 300 rupees after 2 years. So what will be the simple interest? Simple interest will be 300. So we can calculate it 2,500 into R into 2 upon 100, which is we get R, which is 6%. Clear? Next one. A sum of rupees 1,000 after 3 years at compound interest become a certain amount that is equals to the amount that is the result of a 3-year depreciation from rupees 1,728. Find the difference between the rate of interest of compound and depreciation. Difference between the rates of compound interest and depreciation, given that compound interest is 10% per annum. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now according to question, it is given that the amount of rupees 1,000 and 10% per annum after 3 years it would become, amount will be P into 1 plus R upon 100 to the power T. So when we put the value 1,000 into 1 plus 10 upon 100 power 3, A will be 1,331. Here now the principal is 1,728, depreciate at the rate of R% per annum, and amount to be rupees 1,331. It is given in the question. So when we use the formula again, P 1 minus R upon 100 whole power 3 is equals to 1,331 So when we calculate it, we get the value of R, which is 8.33%. So hence the rate difference between compound interest and depreciation almost 10 minus 8.33, which is 1.7%. Clear? Next one. When the rate of interest in a bank is reduced from 5% per annum to 4.5% per annum, Bani deposited 4,000 rupees in her saving account. She found that the new interest income remained the same as before. Find her original deposit. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now we assume the original deposit by Bani is X rupees. So SI obtained in both the cases is same. It is given in the question. Clear? So if she invests X rupees at 5% per annum for T time, multiplying upon divided by 100 is equals to when he invests 4,000 at rate of 4.5% for the same time, it means T times divided by 100, we get the same simple interest. So here is rate are 5% and in the second condition rate are 4.5%. So when we calculate it, we get the value of X, which is 3,600. So A is the correct answer. Next one. Two equal sums were lent at simple interest for 4 years and for 3 years respectively. The rate of interest in the latter case was 3% per annum, higher than that of the former case. But the amount in each case in each was rupees 1088. Find the rate of interest of the former case. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now amount is given 1088. Clear? Let the principal invested be X rupees and let the ratio of interest is R% in first case. So it will become in second case R plus 3. Clear? Because it is given that in the latter case 3% is higher than the first former. So second case will be rate of interest will be R plus 3%. So according to question, A equals to P into 1 plus R into T upon 100 will be 1088 equals to first year will be X. We take principal into 1 plus 4R because T is given 4 year into R upon 100. Solution to be continued. Now we move to second condition. Second condition says that 1088 is equals to X into 1 plus 3 into in the bracket R plus 3 upon 100. So question says that we have the same rate of interest in both the equation. So we can compare it. When we compare it, we get the value of R, which is 9% per annum. Clear? Next one. Kavita invested one third of her money at 4% per annum, one fourth at 3% per annum, and rest at 5% per annum. She received an annual interest of rupees 500 on her money. Find the total money invested. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now let the total money invested is P rupees by Kavita is P rupees. According to question, total earned by the annual interest earned by the Kavita is 500. It is given in the question. So 500 is equals to, we can write it P by 3, or we can say there one third of P multiplying by 4 multiplying by 1, because 1 year we can talking about upon 100. Same way P by 4 into 3 into 1 upon 100 plus P minus P upon 3 plus P by 4 multiplying by 5 multiplying by 1. So we get 500 equals to 4p upon 300, 3p upon 400 plus 25p upon 1200. So when we take LCM, we get the value of p, which is 12,000 rupees. So C is the correct answer. Next one. Shruti borrowed rupees 2,500 from her two friends. For one loan, she paid 8% per annum, and another for the other 6% per annum simple interest. If she paid rupees 180 as total interest for 1 year, how much did she borrow at 8% per annum? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time starts now. Time's up. Let's see the solution. Let Shruti borrowed X rupees from one of her friends. So the remaining amount borrowed from the another friend, which is 2500 minus X. So the total simple interest for 1 year is 180. So we can say that 180 equals to X into 8 into 1 upon 100 plus 2500 X. 2500 minus X into 6 into 1 upon 100. So when we calculate it, we get the value of X. So solution to be continued. Now when we calculate it, it will become 180 equals to 8x minus 6x upon 100 plus 150. When we solve it, we get the value of x, which is 1500. Clear? Next one. A part of 38,800 is lent out at 72% per annum for 6 months. The rest of the amount is lent out at 5% per annum after 1 year. The ratio of interest after 3 years from the time when first amount was lent out is 5:4. Find the second part that was lent out at 5%. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time starts now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now let the first part be x rupees. So second part will be again 38,800 minus x. Now the question says it the ratio of the first part and second part is 5:4. Clear? So we can write it x into 0.72 multiplying 1 by 2, which is 6 months, upon 38,800 minus x into, because the rate of interest is 5%, so 0.05 we can write it into, and 2. Clear? So when we calculate it, we get the value of x, which is 10,000 rupees. So second part will be 28,800 because we subtract the 10,000 from 38,800. So it will be 28,800, which is A is the correct answer. Next one. A certain sum of money invested at compound interest become 1.44 times of the itself in 2 years. If twice this sum were lent at simple interest, in how many years would it double itself? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Let the principal sum of money be rupees x. So amount after 2 years it will be become 144 according to question. So 144 equals to 100 into 1 plus r upon 100 square. Clear? So we can calculate r, which is 20%. Clear? Solution to be continued. Now we know that the rate of interest, we have to make amount 200 to 400. So on SI would be 200. So SI will be 200, principal is 200, rate of interest is 20%. So we need to calculate time T upon 100. So T is 5 year. Clear? Next one. Arun gives his wife Asha a birthday gift, giving her each year a number of rupees equal to the number of year of her age. If her birthday fall on 8th August, what sum of must be placed at simple interest at 7% on January 1 before she is 42 year in order to raise the required sum? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now the according to question says that Arun gives his wife's Asa birthday gift a number of rupee equal to the number of year of her age. Clear? So we can choose first the calculate the number of days in a month. So in January, if you're talking about the 30, 28, 31, 30, 31, 30, 31 and 8. Clear? So it will become 219 days. So 219 constitute of total 365 days is which is 3 by 5th of the year. Clear? So thus Arun must invest certain sum of 3/5 of the year at 7%, which is equals to 42 rupees, because before she became 42. It is given in the question. So at age of 42 year, Asa, which is given in the question. So SI will be 42 rupees. So what will be the principal amount? Principal into rate of interest into time. So P into 7 into 3 upon 100 into 5. So it will become P, which is 1000 rupees. Clear? Next one. Bindu lent rupees 10,000 in 4 parts to her friend. If she gets 8% on rupees 2,000, 7.5% on rupees 4,000 and 8.5% on 1,400, what percent must she get for remainder if the average interest is 8.13%? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Time's up. Let's see the solution. Now the question says it. Let's assume the rate of interest overall be 8.13% average. Clear? So the simple interest will be 10,000 into 8.13 into 1 upon 100, which becomes 813. So now the interest levied on different part must be combined to get resultant interest, which is 813. Clear? So 8% of 2000 plus 7.5% of 4000 plus 8.5% of 1400 and y% of 10,000 minus 7400, which is equals to 813. So where y% is rate of interest on remainder. So we can calculate y. 8 into 20 plus 75 into 4 plus 8.5 into 14 plus y upon 100 multiplying by 2600, which is equals to 813. So we can easily calculate y. Y is equals to 9%. Next one. A sum of money at compound interest amount in 2 year to rupees 2,809, and in the 3 year it will become 2,977.54 rupees. Find the rate of interest and the original sum. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. The difference in amount of money will determine compound interest of 1 year. Clear? Because in the question says that a sum of money as compound interest amount in 2 year is 2,809, and in 3 year it is become 2,977. So we can calculate 1 year compound interest, which is subtract it, we get the value 168.50 rupees. Clear? This is the compound interest levied on this amount, 2,809 rupees in 1 year. So we can calculate the rate of interest by that way. So compound interest is 1,168.54 is equals to 2,809 into R upon 100. We can clearly measure it. So when we calculate it, we get the value of R, which is 6%. So now solution to be continued. Now the amount at compound interest for 2 years. So now we know the compound interest for 2 years. So we need to calculate principal. So we use the formula of compound interest of amount, which is 2,809 equals to P into 1 plus R, which is 6% is given for 2 year, 6 upon 100 whole square. So it will become 2,809 equals to P into 106 upon 100 into 106 upon 100. When we calculate it, we get the value of P, which is 2,500. Next one. Sapna borrowed a certain sum of money from Kavita under the following repayment scheme. based on simple interest. 8% per annum for the initial 2 year, 9.5% per annum for next 4 year, 11% per annum for next 2 year, 12% per annum after 8 year, after the first 8 year. Find the amount which a sum of rupees 9,000 taken for 12 year become at the end of 12 year. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now according to question, the SI obtained after 12 year would be how much it becomes. So we use calculating the simple interest formula. First say that 9,000 and 8% rate of interest. So 9,000 multiplying by 8 into 2 upon 100. Same way 9,000 into 9.5% rate of interest for 4 year upon 100 plus 9,000 multiplying by 11% rate of interest for 2 years plus 9,000 multiplying by 12 into 4 upon 100. So when we calculate it, we get the amount which is 11,160. Clear? It will be simple interest, total simple interest. So what will be the amount? Amount is equals to principal plus simple interest. So principal was 9,000 and compound interest is 11,160. So total amount will become 20,160 rupees. A is the correct answer. Next question is, if the compound interest on a certain sum for 3 years at 5% per annum exceed the simple interest on the same sum and for the same time at the same rate by rupees 183, find the sum. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. According to question, difference between compound interest and simple interest for 2 years which is given is 183 rupees. Clear? It is given for 3 years. So simple interest will be for 3 years is equals to P into R into T upon 100. So P into multiplying by 5 multiplying by 3 upon 100 which is become 3P by 20. So the compound interest for 3 years will be P into 1 plus 5 upon 100 cube power 3 minus 1 which becomes P multiplying by 1261 upon 8000. So put these values equation 2 and equation 3 in equation 1. So what we get? We get 1261 P upon 8000 minus 3P upon 20 which is equals to 183. It is given in the question. Clear? So solution to be continued. So when we calculate, we get the value of P which is 24,000 rupees. Next. If the compound interest on a certain sum of money for 3 years at 5% per annum is rupees 504.40, find the corresponding simple interest. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Compound interest equals to P in the bracket 1 plus R upon 100 power 3 minus 1. Clear? So we know the compound interest which is 504.40 and rate of interest is 5% per year. Time is 3 years. So we just put these datas in this formula. P into 1 plus 5 upon 100 whole cube minus 1. So when we calculate we get the value of P which is 3200. So the question says it, find the corresponding simple interest. So if we know the principal, we can calculate the simple interest PRT upon 100, 3200 multiplying by 5 multiplying by 3 upon 100 which is become 480 rupees. Clear? Find the least number to complete year in which a sum of rupees 1500 at 25% compound interest will be more than double. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now according to question, principal amount is 1500. Rate of interest is 25%. Now the question says it, when we compounded this amount, it will, in how much time it will become more than 2p. So we can write it in this formation: P in the bracket 1 plus r upon 100 to the power 1, which is greater than 2p. So when we calculate it, we get 5 upon 4 to the power n is greater than 2. So by using hit and trial method, we get n equals to 4 here. So A is the correct answer. If the compound interest on a certain sum of money for 2 years is rupees 164, whereas the simple interest for 3 years at the same rate is 240 rupees on the same sum, find the sum. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. So the question says it, the simple interest for 3 years is 240. It is given in the question. So what will be the simple interest for 1 year? We divide it and we get the simple interest for 1 year, which is 80. For 2 year, multiplying by 2. So we get 160 rupees. So we use this formula to get the value of P into R. So we get P into R equals to 8000. Hence, 164 minus 160 equals to P into R upon 100 whole square. Clear? So we just put these values. 4 equals to P into 8000 upon P into 100 whole square. We get the value of P, which is 1600 rupees. Now summarizing our today's lecture. What is simple interest? Simple interest is calculated on the principal amount or the initial sum of money throughout the entire period of the loan or investment. Now the formula of simple interest equals to P into R into T upon 100. So simple interest, SI denotes simple interest, P denote principal amount, R denote rate of interest, T denote time. Characteristics of the simple interest: interest is constant and does not change over the time. Clear? Commonly used for short-term loans or investment. Now, what is compound interest? Compound interest is calculated on the principal amount and also on the interest that has been added to it over previous period. This means interest is earned on interest. Clear? Formula will become amount is P into 1 plus R upon 100 whole power T. A represent the total amount after interest, P represent the principal amount, R represent the annual rate of interest, T represent the time. Characteristics of the compound interest: the interest grows exponentially over time, more beneficial for long-term investment or loan, and the amount earned can significantly increase. Thank you.